Hello again and welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. We're here to talk everything Celtic, and John is with me today to discuss all the Celtic news and rumours. John, how are you doing?
No bad, Xander. How's yourself?
I'm okay. Just here to talk Celtic. There's nothing really much happening now, just some rumours, some injury news. So we'll go through it. We'll start with the rumours, And the first rumour's Daniel Podence. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. He's a left-sided winger, Wolves player. Celtic are linked with him. He's in all the news reports today. Up to £7 and £8 million fee we're going to pay for this guy. He's a Portuguese internationalist. Left-sided winger, that's what we need, isn't it?
Aye, somebody on the left. We need a left back more than a left-sided winger, but I think the left's obviously the kind of slightly weaker side in it. The
guy's Podence is 27 years old, John. Obviously plays for Wolves. He scored 14 goals for Wolves, and he scored 42 goals overall in his career. So he sort of knows where the net is, where the goals are, and that's what we need in it. A left-sided winger that knows where the goals are.
How old is he? 27?
27, aye.
And he scored 42 goals in his career. That's not exactly a it's not a bucket load, is it? But 42 goals, that's no bad, I suppose. Depends where he's played the rest of his career. I've never heard of the guy, but I think any left side, if it's going to strengthen the left side, then it's always good news, because that's where we need strengthened.
If Jota leaving, we definitely need strengthening the left wing position.
Did you say his name was Daniel Podence?
Daniel Podence. For Wolves, he's a Wolves player now. Celtic have inquired about him.
No, did he play in the friendly against Wolves in Ireland recently?
I couldn't tell you that, John. I couldn't tell you if he played or not. I don't remember his name coming up, mind you.
No. See, I don't follow the English game at all, so I don't know much about the English game when it comes to that. I know, obviously, watching European games and stuff that they play in English teams, but, I'm not a big fan of the English Premiership. The money that gets put into it, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems a bit artificial to me, so I don't really watch it.
Well, we'll watch this space with that one. And there are rumours, obviously, Ryan Fraser, we've all heard that rumour.
Ryan Fraser, aye.
But the rumour's not gone away. I think he's a free agent now, John. I know he played for Newcastle, but I think he's a free agent now, so we'd get him for nothing. 5'4" winger. His strengths are crossing. Obviously, crossing the ball, you'll be happy with that.
No, I need somebody that can cross desperately, aye.
He's good at holding onto the ball, good at set pieces, and obviously has a bit of pace. And his weaknesses are passing, which is not a good sign. He's obviously quite poor in the air because of his height. And his defensive capabilities just under their area. He's no great in coming back and defending. But I'm sure Brendan Rodgers could help him with that.
I remember him well. He was a very pacey wee player. Quite a strong wee player as well for a wee guy. He was quite a strong wee player.
He is. I remember him playing for Scotland as well. But as regards to his goal scoring, that's no great. That's what's sort of making me think twice about it. For Newcastle, he had 30 appearances and scored 2 goals. 2 goals. Obviously, most of the appearances must have been coming off the bench.
Maybe he was a bit of a James McCarthy figure down there,
Aye.
Spent his time collecting the wages and not getting a game really, but Ryan Fraser was a half-decent wee player. I do remember him, but is he really what we need?
I was going to say that. Would you take him at Celtic?
I don't know. If he's a free agent and it doesn't work out there, it's another wage wasted, isn't it? There's too many players just sitting there warming the bench, or not even on the bench, just collecting wages at Celtic. I think once you get rid of them, you could say, maybe take somebody on that might do a job. Brendan Rodgers obviously sees something in him, but like I said to you before, I don't think Brendan Rodgers' signings have been fantastic in the past, have they?
No. I mean, there's been 1 or 2 good ones, but there's a lot of bad signings. We'll not go through all his bad signings, but nobody's bad signings were. But he's had a lot.
No, he's had quite a lot of bad signings, Brendan Rodgers, aye. On the Ryan Fraser thing, for me it's a no-go. I wouldn't take it, no.
Well, his best season he had his best club he was at was Bournemouth, where he had 127 appearances and scored 20 goals. That was his best ever stats. So, it's no great, is it?
No, it's no great, no. To me, it just seems just a waste of a wage that could be gone on a player that's getting a start.
Aye.
But I can't see him being a starter at Celtic. And then again, some players, I mean, they've not had much success in other clubs and they come to Celtic and they flourish, you know.
Aye. Yeah, look at Sinclair when he came to Celtic. He was,
Exactly, aye.
you know, he wasn't even getting a game and came to Celtic and look what he done. So Ryan Fraser could do the same, couldn't he?
He could do the same, but 5'4" again. I thought Celtic were looking to get a wee bit more height in their team.
Obviously, they're going to add the height with the defence. But we'll get into the defence. We'll talk about that in a wee minute. But the other rumour is Rocco Vata. Apparently, Ronnie Dalyer's in for him. Club Bruges manager. Would you like to see Rocco Vata stay, or would you be upset if he left? What do you think of wee Rocco Vata?
I wouldn't be upset if he left, but I'll tell you what, he's the best guy at crossing at Celtic. That boy can pinpoint a cross right on somebody's head. I like him. I think he can get by players and put a decent cross on. He's not as good as Abada, but he's only a young boy. Abada's only a young boy, I know, isn't he? But he puts a better cross in than Abada, I think. For me, he's the best crosser at Celtic. But I don't think I'd be disappointed to see him leave. I don't think he's ever going to be a regular starter, is he?
It doesn't look like it. He's not really even coming on off the bench just now, is he?
No. The boy would go with my blessing right enough. Good luck to the boy if he does go, but I don't know, some of these youngsters, do they need a chance at Celtic?
That's it. I'd rather see the boy go on loan and then come back to Celtic, but if he's going to have to leave, then that's what's going to have to happen.
There's something about wee Vata I like anyway. He's got something. But getting rid of Rocco Vata and bringing in Ryan Fraser, me personally, I'd rather keep the young ones there that look like they've got potential, and I think wee Rocco Vata looks like he's got a lot of potential in him.
Aye, I agree, John. I think he's a decent wee winger. I quite like him. But he's just not been given a chance at Celtic, has he?
No. He's not started a couple of games, has he? He's just come on as a sub, but I do like the look of the wee guy. If he needs to get out the door, he needs to get out the door. Rodgers he knows what he's doing, I suppose, but I would rather he stayed, to be honest with you.
Aye.
But I wouldn't be heartbroken if he left, because we're not missing anything if he leaves, because he's never getting starts anyway, is he?
Aye. Well, Ronnie's in for him. Ronnie Dahlia is in for him, so again, we'll wait and see what happens in the next few days, or week to 10 days, we'll see what happens. Alright, moving on to the midfield. Hatate had been announced today he's going to be out for 4 weeks with his injury, which I thought was going to happen. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast, that I think Rodgers said it was nothing serious, but then I thought, get a few days, it might tighten up, and then sure enough, he's got a calf injury, and he's out for 3 or 4 weeks. So we're linked with James McAtee again, central midfielder, Man City. But the only thing is, Wolves, Brighton and Ajax are also in for him. He's supposed to be a decent wee midfielder. I think we need more depth in that midfield.
Aye, well, it's bad news about Hatate in it, because it's going to be Turnbull in it, replacing him.
Aye, that's true.
Or is it going to be Turnbull replacing him? You know, I'm not a fan of Turnbull. If anybody listening, I'll get it away right now. I ain't a fan of Turnbull at all. I think you've also got Home to go into that position.
Impressive.
Who for me looks a lot better player than Turnbull, a lot more composed, picks a pass and can go by a player.
He's impressive, aye.
So Home can slot into that position. I think he would do a better job than Turnbull there.
But that's Hatate missing the trip to Ibrox. That's a concern for me.
Aye. Hatate seems to be quite injury prone, doesn't he?
He does, aye.
He's had quite a lot of injuries, but he's missed a lot of Celtic games through injury. But
the way I look at that, John, is who's going to want to sign an injured player?
Injury prone player like him.
So it might be a good blessing in disguise, maybe, the fact that he's injured. Nade will come in for him, hopefully.
Well, it could be a blessing, but I'd rather Hatate stay. I'm a big fan of Hatate. It's just a pity he's injured so much, isn't it?
Aye. Alright, that's all the news there is for the midfield just now. Anyway, we'll move on to the defence, John. Still no confirmation of Lagerbielke. What's going on there?
They're just slowing it. Brendan Rodgers has come in and the transfers have slowed right down. Like I said to you last time, if that was Postecoglou, he'd have his shopping done before the season started. Rodgers has come in and suddenly the purse strings are tightened, didn't they?
It seems that way, doesn't it? No biscuit tin mentality.
I hope I'm wrong, but it's starting to look that way with Rodgers has come in. And but another thing I noticed when Rodgers came in, Peter Lawwell's all over the place. All the pictures when they first came in was Lawwell with him as well.
Oh, Lawwell's definitely playing his part, isn't he? And there's a reason why the signings are taking so long. Lawwell's back.
It's no good. You've never seen Lawwell near 40s when Ange came in, did you? You never seen Peter Lawwell anywhere near any of the press stuff when Ange came in. But Rodgers has come in and suddenly Lawwell's all over it, you know.
Aye. Well, 2 weeks to the window closes now. It's time's getting on.
Aye, time's getting on, but nothing we can do about it, is there? We just need to wait and see what happens, because there's obviously clearly positions in that part that need strengthened.
Yep. We'll continue with the defence. Cameron Carter-Vickers came off at the weekend with a slight hamstring pull or knock. Again, Rodgers said he should be okay for Kilmarnock game. Do you think we should risk him against Kilmarnock, or do you think we should maybe put Welsh in there and rest him?
If you said a wee niggle, I would rest him. It's the League Cup, innit? I mean, how concerned about the League Cup are Celtic fans, really? It's good winning trebles and all that, but if you were to miss out on one trophy this season, that would be it. Not that I'm saying Kilmarnock would beat us without Carter-Vickers, because I still think we'll beat Kilmarnock.
And maybe by the weekend we'll have Bielke, or Bielke, whatever his pronunciation is. Maybe we'll have him in the squad by the weekend. I'm
not hopeful with that, to be honest with you. The more every day and days gone by, and all we're seeing is linked with this and linked with that. There's no cast iron proof of anything, is there, really?
No, nothing. But I think this Bielke thing's more or less over the line. I think that's more or less done. We're just waiting on the confirmation. But we've heard that before, and it's no happened, didn't we?
Aye. Well, we'll see what happens. We can only wait and see what happens with any of these guys that we're linked with, because all it is, to me, it's just linked with players. I mean, that happens with every club, linked with this and linked with that.
Once he's signed that bit of paper and he's holding up that Celtic top, that's when he's a Celtic player, and that's when you can actually talk about him, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. And Lager Bielke did say he's honoured to be linked with a club like Celtic and all that, so he has spoke out about it. And that's the only player that's really got maybe something in it, you know, that's got a bit of truth to it. Because the stuff I've read, if you go on YouTube and all that this morning, it's just linked with this, linked with that. It's it's just all words, you know. There's no truth in it.
No, and still absolutely, there's not even a link to a new striker coming. There's nothing. That's concerning as well. What if Kyogo gets injured?
No, Kyogo's linked with Tottenham, isn't he?
Has he ever heard that?
Apparently Kyogo's linked with Tottenham. Apparently Ange is going in for Kyogo, but again, it's just words, in it, linked, and you don't know. I don't believe any of these rumours until I actually see some kind of proof of it, you know. You read up on it and you see a wee bit, the player says this about Celtic, he said that about Celtic, but there's nothing like, I'm definitely want to go to Celtic or anything like that. There's nothing like that out there.
Well, Kyogo gets injured or he leaves, then we've got, who is it up front? Maeda. Look at his 1-on-1 against Aberdeen. That was quite bad. That was he didn't know what to do with the ball, didn't he? He just sort of was like a headless chicken.
Well, I liked Maeda up front in Japan and all that. But there was only a friendly, mind you, but he did score a hat-trick in one of the games. And he took every finish was lovely, I know. And he does score goals for Celtic. Maybe, I don't know if he's played up front every week. He plays up front for Japan as well, doesn't he?
He does, aye. That's his actual position for Japan.
Aye, so, I don't know. Would he give him a chance up front at Celtic if Kyogo gets injured? But the only other one we've got there is O. And neither of us is a fan of O, are we?
And he's injured. He's out for 6 weeks.
He's out as well.
That's a concern. That's a real concern, that, for me. We need to start being linked with some strikers, I think. We need to start looking for a new striker. Kilmarnock on Sunday, 3 o'clock kick-off. I'm not sure what channel that's on. I'll put that up on the screen once I find out what channel that's on, but it's a 3 o'clock kick-off on Sunday anyway.
They're doing Viaplay, and it's a Viaplay Cup.
Is Viaplay still on the go? Aye, are they still?
I think so. I think it's still called the Viaplay Cup, isn't it?
I thought they were. I thought they'd pulled out of Scottish football.
I haven't heard anything if they did, but I'm just...
I'll check it. I'll check it and I'll put it up on the screen, right? What channel the game's on, so that everybody that's listening knows where to watch it. Just a wee quick early prediction. Would you think, John? Kilmarnock versus Celtic, Rugby Park, plastic pitch. What's your wee early predictions for that? With all the injuries we've got out and everything else, what do you think?
Well, obviously Kilmarnock's an on-form team, isn't they? Beating Rangers, going to Tynecastle and getting a draw. Two really hard games, games for them, you know. And they get through both of them, so... I see McInnes was saying he's looking forward to playing Celtic. He can't wait to play Celtic. But I don't know.
He likes a good drubbing then,
I think so, aye. I'm thinking...
something comforting in defeat.
Something. Aye. But you don't know. I've not watched Kilmarnock, to be honest with you. I never watched them. I watched a wee bit of the game against Rangers. I've watched a wee bit and I watched the highlights. Wasn't a lot to go on, but I never seen any of the game against Hearts, so it's hard to see what they're actually like. But I'm going to say another close game for Celtic. Another away game on a difficult surface. I'm going to say 2-1 Celtic.
I was thinking 2-1, but I'm actually going to say 3-1. 3-1 Celtic. That's my early prediction. That could change as the week goes on, obviously. I just think we're good enough to beat Kilmarnock. Rangers got beat with Kilmarnock, but they're a really poor side. We're not a really poor side. We've got enough in the tank there to beat them quite confidently and comfortably. So I'll go 3-1 Celtic.
Aye, well, I've got a good record at Kilmarnock. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be close again. I think it's going to be one of the games. A team seem to be targeting Greg Taylor down the left. I'm thinking, is he going to be targeted again? Just overload that left-hand side. That's why we need strength in there, you know.
I don't know why he doesn't try Scales on the left back. Good. He's got a bit of height. He's got a bit of pace. He's got a bit of strength. He can defend. Give him a wee shot at left back, especially in the cup.
Yeah, the other option is what's his name? The wee Argentinian player. Bernabe, aye.
Nah, no for me. I don't think he's. I think he's worse than Taylor, to be honest with you.
He is. I think there's something about him. When he does show up, he has a great game. Doesn't show up very often, mind you, but when he does, seems to have a half decent game. He can't defend again, same as I was going to say the same as Taylor, but Taylor can defend. He just gets bullied a wee bit, I think. But Scales, I would say, aye, he's worth a shot on the left.
Especially in the cup. Give him a wee trial out in the cup, in the League Cup. See how he performs against Kilmarnock in that tricky park.
Aye.
He's either going to fail or flourish, isn't he? He's got to give him a chance. Let's see what he can do.
Well, Rodgers hasn't started him yet, has he, in a competitive match?
No, he's not been near the team competitively. Not been near it.
But I have seen him in the pre-season. He actually looked like a good player.
But that's what I'm saying. Need to get him into the rough and tumble of the real stuff. The league games, the cup games, innit?
Aye. I don't think Rodgers is a big fan of the guy, to be honest with you. I would like to see him get a chance. I don't know. The only other options we've got at left back is Bernabe and Taylor. Like I keep saying, Taylor's getting bullied now. He's a target on the left constantly.
Mm-hmm. I think you put Scales in there. If they hit the long balls down to that left back area, Scales is going to win 90% of them, isn't he?
Aye. Big Scales got a lot of pace as well.
No, he's got a good pace, cover of pace, aye. Aye.
Yeah, a good shout that actually, aye. I mean, he is worth the League Cup. Give him a shot, see how he gets on.
Yeah, I agree. We'll wait and see, John. We'll wait and see. Alright, John, anything you want to add?
No, that's it. You've just about covered everything. Just the only thing I want to say is the same as what you've said, that everything's slow right now. And I can't see much more coming in by the time transfer window closes, I can't see much more happening.
Aye. Maybe, as I say, when Sunday comes, when we do the podcast on Sunday, it'll be a different story. But that's just another wait and see.
You don't know. Just right now, it's slow and it's tedious, to be honest with you.
Aye. No. Everybody's wanting news to come out quickly and urgently, signings here, signings there, but absolutely nothing is happening. Nothing.
I want to see a team I'm confident in winning that league. That's what I'm concerned with.
Aye. Don't get me wrong, I think it will happen. We'll get the signings in before the window shuts, and it might be one of the transfer window deadline day numbers where we sign 3 players on the deadline day. I'll even take that as long as we get the players in, as long as we get good quality players in.
Aye, well, that's it. Players capable of winning that league easy. That's my dream come true. Having a team that wipes the other Scottish teams aside. I know we've had that for the last couple of seasons, but I want to see that every season, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're losing players, best players like Jota and we lost Starfelt, well, I wasn't a fan of him anyway.
You don't want to start giving other clubs false hope, don't you know?
No, you want to strengthen. As soon as we lose players of the calibre we have, you want to see them replaced with at least equal calibre type players, and so far I don't think we've seen that. The only one I'm seeing hope in so far is Home. The new signings. He looks a very good signing.
Yeah.
Well, Yang as well. He looks good, doesn't he?
I think Yang's going to be a player for us, aye. I just hope he gets the chance. Abada's going to be the first pick this season, so Yang's going to have to bide his time.
Aye.
Alright, John, we'll park it there for the day, and we'll return on Sunday and we'll talk a wee bit more about the game against Kilmarnock.
Okay, mate. That's good.
But thanks very much again for coming on. I appreciate you coming on, having a wee chat about Celtic. Excellent stuff. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Okay, Xander.